Welcome in! Episode 25. 25. We're a quarter away to 100. You know? It's a big milestone. Keivon. Oh shit. I'm Ty Belcher. Is Keivon back from the dead?
No.
The man flew.
Still dying.
Still beating his ass. We tested him for COVID. He is COVID negative, thank God.
I did not test for COVID.
Anyway, so are you like going to?
I can still taste everything. And I don't have a sore throat anymore, so maybe I'm good. It's just
Dirty bastard. Dirty whore. Anyways, episode 25, through the whistle. Keivon is back. The obnoxiousness.
I'm cold.
From
I'm cold.
It's very warm in here.
And I'm sick.
You probably have COVID. You give me COVID, I might stab you.
I mean, you did have it not too long ago.
I mean, that was like a minute ago.
Let's talk about it.
Built different.
You'll be fine.
I hope so. Anyways.
You got a COVID shot. You'll be good.
Anyhow, Keivon, you missed the obnoxiousness?
Yes. Glad. I mean.
So you take your flu?
I think that you were talking a little bit out your ass, but you know,
Pause.
It's okay.
No, I have immunity for 365 days because we whooped that ass.
I'll give you that. That's bad.
But, yeah, I mean,
much respect.
very reserved. This is a Michigan versus everybody's story today.
Yeah.
But,
respectable.
I mean, I guess, you know.
It's okay. Yeah, it's people are probably happy that I didn't come in and talk about Ryan Day the way I was going to.
No, they probably wanted to hear you crash out because y'all suck.
I think they would have been upset that I wouldn't have crashed out as much.
Pump. But,
it's okay. It's valid.
You want to go ahead and tell the people what you need to do.
Well, I mean, I was going for a little bit, but not gone long enough to not know that.
3 things.
You had to do 3 things of like, share, and subscribe.
Like, share, and subscribe. It's free.
You know, it's free. Maybe it'll
Man, I thought I was going to be obnoxious in this motherfucker, man.
Okay.
Keivon asked me one thing. He asked me one thing on last week. He said, "Is this going to be for the belt?" Guess what?
You said no.
Motherfucker, we got the belt.
You said no.
We got the belt.
You literally said no.
You put it upside down. It's a Michigan belt. So the Miz TV. Keivon.
You literally said that
Keivon.
wasn't for the belt. So obviously it wasn't for the belt.
Even if it was for the belt, guess what?
But it wasn't. So
We would have had the belt. So regardless, Michigan stays the winner of this rivalry. 4 straight.
4 straight.
And I know we usually start our Wednesday shows off with, you know, CFP ranking reactions, but we'll get to the SEC meat munch in a little bit. What are you guys gonna be off the hook? It doesn't matter what you think, because when The Rock says the champion is here, even though we're not champion, we still are the champion. We're the reigning champs still. So as a third, until Saturday, we are still the reigning Big Ten champions too. Make sure it's nice and clean.
I was really hot.
How you know? You're cold. And you're hot and you're cold. I don't know the words. That's like a Katy Perry song, I think, or Taylor Swift. One of the two. I just have this off to my side because
I don't want to get it sick.
Well, you didn't win it anyways because y'all suck. 4 straight.
We wouldn't have won it.
Keivon, what's your reaction to the game? What's going on?
Oh boy.
Let me back this up. Pause.
We have I don't think we have that long of a show.
We have as long as we need. Pause. It's a very beautiful belt, by the way.
I think that let me take a
little sip
of water.
By the way, this is the most water I usually see Keivon drink. This is how you know he's sick.
F you. I think that's
John Cena's old move.
Right. I think that's a very telling thing going on here. A lot of people want me to bash Ryan Day because I am
You're very pro Ryan Day.
Pro Ryan Day. I'm very, very much pro Ryan Day. I am very upset with Ryan Day. Don't get me wrong. I'm very. I am on the decline of how bullish I was on Ryan Day, but not for the problems that people may think. The issue is, for being honest, Ryan Day listens too much to other people.
Listens to this podcast too much. Hopefully,
not this podcast.
Hopefully, this podcast.
He listens to the people of of our group chat, like Ryan Norris, and people. I think the issue is, we kind of saw it a little bit when he started talking about Lou Holtz. He was listening to the noise and all that.
Oh yeah, it proved that he listens to the outside noise.
I think the issue is he wants to try to beat Michigan at their own game, and I think that is probably like the most dumbest thing of all time. I get it, we should have seen it coming when he sat there and said, he said that the matchup is going to, the winner is going to be whoever wins the rushing battle. Gang. If you thought that you were
maybe before this season, that could be your mindset.
Well,
when you have, your starting left tackle, your starting center, your starting guard, maybe.
It's just, my thing is, man, at some point, you just got to be who you are. And being who you were would have won the game. I mean, Wink Martindale, they literally said after the game, literally, he
I didn't have to do none of the shit out there looking for it.
No, listen. They sat there and said, Wink Martindale came up to one of the coaches and was like, were they serious? Were they weren't going to do anything that was going to, make us get on our toes? Like, we didn't expect this at all. We were surprised that they thought that the running thing.
I was bewildered.
I was
bewildered too.
Well.
Me and shout out to Jason Levant. Me and Jason Levant on the sideline, like, whoa.
Like, I'm just very much confused. You don't, every time, downfield shots, it was a pass interference, regardless. Yeah. Regardless. Granted, Jeremiah Smith had 35 yards. He impacted probably about 100 yards worth of stuff in the first half. Yeah. So, I would think, me personally, me not being as smart as, I would never put myself as smart as Chip Kelly or Ryan Day, but I would think that they noticed that, whenever Jeremiah Smith was one-on-one against y'all's guys, it was kind of a mismatch. You want to go, like, it's annoying.
Wait, Keivon, we must have had Will Johnson has been playing.
It's, gang. To not attack the mismatch that you have, but attack the mismatch that's at your disadvantage is insane to me.
I love it.
Like, they truly, I thought Ryan Norris was legitimately calling plays. Like, this whole tradition of we have to be a power running team, gang, we're not. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, we're not that. It's okay that we're not. We had the best receivers in the Big Ten by far, and top 3 in the nation. I would expect that if you're going up against backup DBs. Granted, y'all didn't blitz as much because I think y'all only blitzed 3 times within the game. But the fact that y'all sat back with 2 high safeties, granted, that's fine. I'm okay with that. But obviously the shots were still there to be taken. People want to say it was because they didn't think Will Howard was seeing the field well. That's fine. I understand that sentiment. But when you're getting 3 yards of carry, that doesn't Sound good. I don't know.
When it's 3rd and 9, you're running the ball.
I mean, I understood it. I don't like it. They thought that they were going to get points. I mean, if you think that your kicker is not going to make 30-yard field goals every game, I don't know why you send him out there. Me personally, but
especially when Ryan Day has a video of him talking to the kicker. Like, how'd you miss? He points up. He turns the wind. He said, "Son, it's 70 degrees and dry. There's no wind."
Listen, this man has been effing up field goals since Georgia, and that was 2 years ago. I'm just saying, to leave it up to your kicker's hands basically is like, I get it. Will Howard threw the pick, but both picks, both insanely foul.
Everybody in their mind knows 39, you're going to throw the comeback route.
I mean, not even that. It's not even that the comeback route was the problem. What? Will, love you, guy. You're not
to America.
You're not. The NFL arm is not on your arm. Sorry, I'm sorry to break it to you. So to throw from one hash to the other,
it's not your game, son.
It's not. It's especially not
no.
on the 2-yard line. It's not
With 10-mile-per-hour wind.
Not ideal.
Wind coming.
I would
towards
think
you.
that you would throw it to the boundary. You know where the coverage told you to throw. But neither here nor there. The second pick was about just as foul. You
stared him down.
Not even stare him down. I mean, if you're gonna, you can't pump fake. Well, not pump fake, but like wait for Emeka to leave and then throw it when he does leave. I blame a lot of this.
Let's make a pie.
There's a pie. I'm giving 20% to Will. I'm giving 30% to the kicker. That's 50 right there.
50.
Actually, I'm probably giving 40% to the kicker because that was just ridiculous. And then I'm giving 20% to. I'm giving 20% to Ryan Day. I'm giving about 15% to Chip Kelly. And that 5% goes to not being able to make a tackle on the last play to On Mullings. I mean,
in the backfield.
In the backfield, it's 36. That's a game. That's a game right there. It's literally the game.
Yeah.
Literally the game.
Let me get the Michigan in there.
People are asking me because I am such pro Ryan Day. Do I think he should be fired? I do think that if Ryan Day does not make it to the national championship, just make it. I don't think he has to win it, but if he does not make it, he more than likely will be fired.
Yes.
I do not think that there is a better replacement out there at the moment, unless you're grabbing somebody like Kirby Smart or like Deion Sanders or something like that. But I don't think that's not happening.
Yeah. They'll never allow that man.
People are asking for Marcus Freeman to come out and play for, coach for Ohio State. I don't think Marcus Freeman is a better coach than Ryan Day.
So let's go ahead and let's pivot to that. What are some actual
candidates? Yeah. I mean, I don't think Mike Vrabel's coming. He's not. He's
been
not,
very.
He wants to play.
He
wants to be coach in the NFL. Marcus Freeman, like I said, we're asking for a guy that just lost to Northern Illinois to come coach.
Who lost their talent?
Yeah, granted, but again, what's the difference? I mean, is the Northern Illinois difference from Notre Dame not the same as Ohio State to Michigan this year?
Talent-wise, would you say?
I would say it was closer.
Would you say Notre Dame is closer to y'all talent-wise, or you say they're closer to Northern Illinois talent-wise?
I would say that the difference between Northern Illinois and Notre Dame is greater than the talent between Michigan and Ohio State. I would say that. Only because of the fact that the way that the defense of you guys compared to, I mean, y'all's defensive line interior alone sets it apart.
Two top 5 picks.
Yeah. I mean,
two top 15 picks.
Yeah.
Come to Michigan. This is why you come to Michigan.
I mean,
already signed that. Come out here.
You can't sit there and tell me that you would think that Notre Dame is on anywhere equal footing to Northern Illinois. But We're also talking about the same guy that lost to Marshall last year.
Whoa, chill out.
I'm just
Still
saying.
hurt.
I'm just saying.
One of my 15.
So it's people are always talking about, oh, well, you can't have this as your first head coaching job. Notre Dame is his first head coaching job, and granted, Ryan Day doesn't win the big game. He won the big games against Notre Dame. It's fine. Granted, Ohio State had more talent than Notre Dame as well. I will also say that what big games has Marcus Freeman won?
A&M. At A&M.
I could say that A&M is the same as Ryan Day winning at Penn State, honestly.
I mean, we say that. I mean, I talked about it in the group chat before. I said, because you part of your reason why you don't want Ryan Day to be fired, the mass exodus that will happen.
Yes.
Both recruit-wise and
transfer portal-wise.
And portal-wise. Bro from Instant Sports said, who cares? Get them all out.
Chris Drew does not.
He doesn't care.
He does not care. He wants Ryan Day. I mean, and granted, I think he's speaking more from
emotional aspect.
Emotional, yes.
But I do, as an unbiased party, as a man who really appreciates Ryan Day being at Ohio State, because usually comes with a win, because Ryan Day wants to prove that I'm more physical than Michigan. Sir, sorry to break it to you. The guys you have on your team will never be more physical than Michigan. I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. But it will never happen. And on top of that, I mean, Keivon. Sorry, I'm moving the belt that Michigan has. I don't think we'll ever lose it. Thank God. Thank you, Ryan Day. I don't think you guys will lose as much as you think. Because that whole line from Notre Dame, that they're coming with Marcus. Pause.
It's possible.
Those receivers are probably staying there with Hartline.
It's also possible.
The type of guys that Marcus would bring in defensively, I think would be an upgrade regardless, because you guys are losing a lot front seven-wise. So, yeah. I feel like the drop-off that you think is going to happen won't be as big.
I don't think the drop-off will be on the defensive side. I think the drop-off will be on the offensive side.
I mean, but if you get the caliber of players, offensive line-wise, that Notre Dame gets, you keep your receivers.
But it's the play. Who are you calling? Who you have calling plays?
Hey Brian, go make a name for yourself right now.
But what if he's not that guy? Because then you can't fire him.
You can't demote. I mean, you can re-demote them.
You can't demote them though, because it's like
they're teammates. They were former teammates.
You can't demote. You can't sit there and be like, listen, Brian, we love you, but we gotta take this stuff away from you. We're taking your duties. You can't do that. Now, if you want to make him co-offensive coordinator and try to bring somebody in, but I don't know who you're bringing in, fine. I mean, I can listen to it. I'm not even saying that I think there's a definitive thing that Ryan Day needs to keep his job. My thing is, I would rather have somebody that's for sure coming in that I know for a fact is a better coach than him, because again, I don't know if Marcus Freeman can recruit to the same type of level as
I think
Ryan
it would be
Day.
Easier because the restrictions aren't going to be as bad.
Yeah, but are you bringing in the same type of quarterbacks that Ryan Day is bringing in? Are you bringing in the same type of guy that you're feeling like is...
Well, like a Devin Brown, like a Kyle McCord?
I mean...
These are guys who Dave recruited himself, and...
C.J. Stroud was also a part of that. And then you also have to sit there and see that St. Clair is also coming in. I mean, it's not just...
But I think St. Clair would stay regardless. He's
definitely
there for the block out.
He's definitely there regardless if Ryan Day is there or not.
Yeah, I think that would help, because yesterday you were talking about St. Clair. Because me and you have the same sentiment when it comes to freshman quarterback. With Bryce Underwood, I'm like, hey, start him, and you just live with the growing pains. As a freshman quarterback, it's going to happen. As a sophomore quarterback, they're going to happen. First time touching the field, your growing pains are going to happen regardless. You bring in Marcus Freeman.
It's probably less as much as a sophomore, but yeah.
Yeah, because you have a year of like,
truly understand the system. Yeah.
But you have Marcus Freeman there. I don't think he's scared to start St. Clair, because his job wouldn't be on the line like a Ryan Day's is.
But then, Ty, you also have to sit there and, I mean, you're saying that, but then, listen, you get to that Michigan game, and Marcus Freeman comes in there, and if he loses that game, regardless, because the defense is going to be fine. Regardless, I think that you're looking at this defense for next season. You're looking at the front seven that's leaving, and all these players are leaving. And I truly understand it. It's not going to be as dominant. I believe that, but I still think that it will be a top 10 type of defense off of the players that will be coming back. Because
top 10 on paper or top 10 in
top 10. I think
on paper it'll look good.
I think it'll be top. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think it'll be top 10. It'll probably be top 10 statistical. I don't think it will be. It won't be great. It won't be elite. It might be like that right next range of right under elite. I think that it will be comparable to what it will be a top 3 defense in the Big Ten.
You have top 3 defense in the Big Ten with a Marcus who. You know the front seven's going to be tough.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. So if you have that top 3 defense and the offense is still pushing along and you lose the game, then it's going to be looking like, okay, so the people are going to sit there, they won't call for his job. Mm-hmm. They won't. But then it's going to look like, so then what we get rid of him for? And then that next season, that sophomore, that second year at Ohio State, it's like, okay, so now this is. That's kind of like where they're like forced to put the chips in the table is the next home game out of Ohio State, regardless. But then my thing is, Ty, that puts so much more pressure. Like how you were just saying, why leave Notre Dame if you're
allowed to lose at Notre Dame?
So I'm saying because if you lose that first year and then you're coming in, Bryce Underwood's second season at Michigan, Sharon Moore is 3-0, and you think that. You're going to get that first win of your career, and you're going to be like set. No, because if you lose that second one, then it's going to really be okay. So no, we didn't get rid of Ryan. We got rid of Ryan Day for no reason. And then we're already not even promising on offense like we probably thought we were.
I feel like part of the problem with people. Well, I feel like the sentiment that people have with Ryan Day is the way that y'all lose to us.
That's
the fact that
it's the same type of way.
It's the same type of way. I said on Monday, Michigan 394 yards in the fourth quarter alone across the last 4 games, rushing yards. You're getting bullied. Well, besides this year,
I want to say they got bullied this year. Yes.
Yeah, but I said aside from this year, it feels for sure the first 2 games, 21-22, we ran at will against y'all in the second half. Like it feels like we're bullying y'all. I feel like a lot of people. Missed the je ne sais quoi in French a little bit. Shout out to Madame Zielinski, taught me some French back at Woodward Park. Shout out to Woodward Park, too. Shout out to the mods. But
I hate the mods.
The mods was low-key turned. Shout out to the blue team. But I feel like the approach that Marcus Freeman, and we talked about this on the side, too.
And I think that's the biggest issue.
Because somebody on Twitter, a former player on Twitter said, every single day going towards at least some part beat Michigan. Jim Harbaugh, after the COVID year, every single day is dedicated to being Ohio State. Mike Sanders still, when we beat y'all at Ohio State in 2022, on the sideline saying, this is where our national championship starts. We have to beat Ohio State. The whole year doesn't matter unless we win this game.
That's the mindset. And I think that's the
Ryan
issue.
Doesn't really bring in.
That's the only thing I probably would hear about that is the fact that Ryan doesn't come from this rivalry, so that he's seen it from an outside looking at it. He got brought into it. He's not Urban Meyer, Jim Tressel.
Right.
They're from here, but
stuck.
It's Midwest football. Exactly. So then they looked at this as in, I feel like Ryan Day looks at this game as if it's on the way to the championship instead of saying, no.
This is a stepping stone.
Not even that. I think that he needs to look at it as if, no, the only way you're going to win the championship is if you beat them.
Same way that Jim Harbaugh and Sharon Moore.
But Jim Harbaugh, I feel like that's where he lost it at first, where he came in like, okay, no, we're trying to compete.
Yeah, we're trying to get to that level.
So but then when he turned it around after that COVID year, it was like, no, okay, maybe I got to look at it differently. This game isn't on the way to it.
This is
exactly. And I feel like that's the reason why Ryan probably looks at this game and goes into this game differently And that's probably the issue because whenever you hear about Ryan Day talking, it's always about the national. He wants the rings.
Yes.
He wants the Big Ten titles. It's like, we have this goal of like, it's 3 steps. It's we want the game, and we want the Big Ten title, and then we want the championship. And then it's always about that championship. But you have to sit there. The game is always going to be outside of its own. You need to
stay back.
Exactly. It is legitimately on par with nothing else, regardless of what you want.
The anxiety of a championship.
It's different. And that's why exactly. And he talked about it this past season as if, like, he understood it. I think he's grown in it as far as like what he thinks it has to be. Because I would say that since the first loss, the physicality has probably gotten better for them.
Slowly but steadily, yeah.
But I think that the issue is you need to take that physicality and then put it into your own style. Like you're trying to put that physicality into a way that you thought that Urban would do it, or you thought that you have to do it.
There's different ways of being aggressive.
Exactly.
There's different ways of being aggressive.
Listen, we saw Jeremiah Smith aggressive the first catch that he got, and it was like, okay, no,
they're going back and forth.
Exactly.
He understands what this means. I feel like y'all's receivers these last 4 years have always known what it is.
Yeah.
Garrett, for damn sure, he's an Ohio-born kid.
As well.
Olave, he knows what it is. Jeremiah Smith knows what it is. Emeka, I know he usually kind of struggles in these games against Michigan, but he understands the aggression. He understands what it takes.
Even JSN knew.
JSN knew.
But it's just,
they all knew what it was.
I feel like the problem is people came into this game after that COVID, and that's where the issue is. They've talked about it. The issue was that COVID season, the game didn't happen, so they just automatically thought we was going to blow them out anyway. And then now it's like, okay, no, we're just better than them. They don't want the smoke with us. We're automatically. This should be an easy win. And that's the issue. Now that it's like, okay, now you're on the opposite side of the coin, and now it's like, okay, what are you chasing? Do you want the ring, or do you want the gold pants? The gold pants. And I feel like if you want the ring, you need to get the gold pants. So you need to focus on the other thing. Exactly. You have to focus on the gold pants to get to the ring. And I think that's the issue of what they don't truly understand that yet. But I feel like with this new group, because of how many people they're recruiting from Ohio,
it's starting to revert back.
Exactly. And I think that's why he's starting to look more into the state when it comes to this game, because now it's going to be like, okay, you put it out Aaron Scott, where it's like, no, you grew up in this rivalry.
Yeah.
Jack, because it felt like Jack.
That's why I feel like Jack. The people who were in the fight, Jack, I'm not going to say he initiated, but he took pride in, no, you're not putting a flag in our field. Lorenzo Styles didn't play at all, besides special teams on Saturday. From Pickerington. He knows what this game is.
You're right.
He understands it.
Yeah.
You can't, it's not like we lost this game, but we still have, yes, I understand Jack shut out of the game. Well, your season's over, we're in the playoffs. No, because if that was his only mindset, he wouldn't have done any of the stuff that happened.
Right.
He understands this game
matters more than everything.
Hella.
Right.
And I feel like a lot of people before this season were like, 12-team playoffs, these rivalries don't matter. No. Jack said before he went to Ohio State, I want to beat Michigan every single year. I want to be in the Heisman race. DN be in the Heisman race. And I want to make it to the NFL and get a ring as well. That's the reason why he came back. His mindset did not change from before he signed to
he played like
now.
He played like it.
He played like every play fucking mattered. People want to use the play when he missed the tackle on the Mullins play. I don't know if any of y'all have played football. More than the people who have. You're falling back, and your arm is out like this. Who the fuck is making that tackle as you're falling back, getting held? You're not. It's not a possibility. But to circle back to what you said about Ryan Day, about the national championships being his focus, I feel like since he came in on he came in at 7 straight wins? That's the Haskins year. Beat the dog shit out of us, one, when he was the OC still, but basically the head coach. He basically took over. He knew what it was. Like, he was like, oh, this is like, their best team can't fuck with us. So, like, it's like a foregone conclusion. I feel like the preparation, and then the COVID year happens. The next year happens. Y'all beat the dog shit out of Justin and JK. And we're like, all right, it's like, when is Michigan ever going to win? So I feel like subconsciously is like, yeah, we're just going to beat Michigan. Who cares? We're going to hang 100 on them. Who gives a fuck? We put up 50 plus in the last 2 years. COVID year happens, we would have put 100 on them probably, which I probably agree with. That COVID year, we were bad.
Yeah.
And y'all were hungry as hell.
Yeah.
So then 2021 happens. Y'all should have beat the dog shit out of us that year. Garrett Olave, JSN, no reason why. And with 6'8" stride quarterback, no reason to.
I wouldn't say beat dog y'all because of how bad that defense was, but I would say
the defense wasn't
bad enough to
urgency.
Right.
Because it was a lot of on the flea flicker that everybody before the game knew was going to happen. DBs kind of feel like they were lollygagging around, and it was like at halftime, I was like, oh shit, like you might lose this game. And then we're like, oh yeah, we're going to bounce back. We're at home. They've been beat us at home since 2000. Oh, Blake Corn's not playing. Who cares? And he won again. And so to revert that 2021 class that had number 2 in the nation, right? The Jack, JT, all of them class. And you're like, hey, okay, like I know we kind of said, oh yeah, we're just going to win. Like keep playing. We're going to make it to the national championship. We'll play Michigan on the way. Yeah. To say, okay, now we're going to go back to grassroots. We got to win the game. You have a lot of guys who you don't focus on it. You have guys from outside the state who don't really understand it. I mean, shit, you guys, people down south, what's the biggest rivalry?
Probably Auburn,
Alabama, Florida versus Georgia, depending on where you're from, Texas, fucking Oklahoma. They don't understand the nuance of this shit. Yeah. I mean, shit, we get guys from out west. Oh, biggest rivalry is probably USC, UCLA, or some weird shit like that, Oregon, Washington. They don't understand, because this game's been coming on at noon for like the last 10 years and shit. They don't understand the gravity of this shit. And I feel like part of the reasons, like I said, the guys y'all bring in, like the session with stars, like the star rating of these players, I feel like it's kind of to y'all's detriment. And like you said, you're kind of reverting back to, all right, this guy, physical, fits our brand of football. So it's hard to revert back, hopefully, with the last 2 years, especially with this year having to fight. It's like, okay, we have to take this game and put on the same echelon that Michigan puts it at.
I just don't know if – I feel like as the game wanes further and further down the line, it's like he gets to the point to where he doesn't want to lose it. And it's like –
and he stops playing his brand of football.
And that's the problem. He doesn't want to lose. He doesn't play to like he's trying to be aggressive. Mm-hmm. As if it's like he doesn't want to make the mistake that's going to cause the
doesn't be like, oh, you are the reason why you lost.
Exactly.
Right.
And I think that's the problem. Because I mean, hence the only reason why I sat there and said that was the only chance that y'all had was if y'all got to that third quarter and it was a close game.
The play calling is now.
It's right. The pressure is going to be to where it's like, okay, we don't got to be here. We don't got to do this.
Yeah.
Y'all the only ones that got that.
Your coach is the one with his job on the line. Y'all have national championships on the line.
Exactly. Y'all
Big Ten spot is on the line. Us, we about to go to the crib. We about to go eat some ramen noodles. Get ready for the ramen noodle bowl. Get ready for the Campbell's Chunky Chicken Noodle Soup Bowl.
And I feel like that's the issue. So until, I mean, like I said, there's rumblings and like rumors that it's possible that he might try to leave out after the season, just like go to the NFL. I don't know. I would say, me personally, I still think that he is good enough to be the coach. I understand it. I understand both sides. I feel like Michigan fans understand it as well because you guys were on the.
We were on the opposite side. We were just
literally were on the same exact side as what Ohio State is feeling like with Jim Harbaugh, and it took what 6-7 years of losing. It was like okay, no, we're about to get rid of him, and it took him to sit there and take that whole mental reset of saying, okay, I need to do this differently. And he did it. And then it turned to, okay, national championship appearances and then national championship semifinals and all that, Big Ten titles. I feel like that's all it takes is legitimately, he just has to sit there and take a step back and be like, okay, you know what? I tried it this way. I tried it the other way. Everything is getting better, I guess, because I mean, last year you were 6 points away. You were a drive away. You ask Kyle McCord, he throws a pick.
Win a game and he doesn't.
And then this year it's okay. You're probably a tackle and then and 2 field goals away. I mean,
right.
You can't really sit there and say like, I don't think he put his players in the best position offensively, but I would sit there and say that he did enough to win the game, but he didn't do enough to try to make sure the game wasn't in doubt.
See, but I think the part that's different between Jim and Ryan, Jim, the year that we were like, hey, Jim, this your last chance, the 2021 year, we're like, hey, if you don't win this, bro, it's a pay cut, writing's on the wall. You lose this game, you're going to probably be out of here. He said, okay, if I'm going to be the one, if I'm leaving, if I'm going to get fired,
I'm going to do it my way.
I'm going to do it we're going to do my system. We're going to do shit my way. Because I feel like at some third quarter, me and you both said the same thing.
Oh, no, I went to the play sheet.
My job is on the line.
I went to the play sheet.
Your job is on the line. Mine is. Chip, you're not the one whose heads are going to want. Mine is. Your family's not going to be the one that people want. It's going to be mine.
I went to the play sheet.
I'm literally, hey, I don't give a fuck. We're gonna call this shit my way. We're gonna fucking call it defense, special teams, fucking everything. We're gonna call the fucking cheerleaders my way.
Right.
Because if we're going down, I'm going down swinging. My way.
Yeah, I'm going down swinging.
Let's say, for instance, like what every Ohio State fan was calling, where most Ohio State fans were calling for, fire him on the field. You guys should have fired him before he even got back to the locker room. If that was the case, I'm going out my way. I don't want to go back. Damn, I left some bullets in the gun.
Yeah.
No. It's like war zone, motherfucker. Like,
Empty the clip.
Shoot your clip.
Empty the clip. Yeah.
Bust your blick, motherfucker.
I mean, and we're going to see what it turns into, because it's going to either go one or two ways. Either they're going to come out the same way that C.J. Stroud and them came out when they lost to Michigan and played
balls to the wall,
exactly
best
against
game of the
Georgia,
season.
Exactly, or he's going to turn out how last year turned out. So he has 2 options.
You got 3 weeks, bro.
You have 3 weeks to find out. Okay, listen, can you turn this team around? And because if they come out like how they did against Missouri, he's done.
Gone.
He's done. But if they come out how they did against Georgia, it's not only that they have a chance to win, regardless of the fact of how anybody feels about this team after seeing that game. You cannot sit there and tell me that you feel like any team that you sit there is a clear-cut better team than them.
Yeah.
Granted, they put up 10 points, and they had the worst second half that I probably see under Ryan Day his entire career.
Including as a coordinator.
But if you sit there and think that he plays this game so differently that you can't sit there and expect him to sit there and go into a next game and he's going to have that same type of game plan. You can't. Granted, he plays this game very weirdly. I truly just it pisses me off. But you can't undeny that he comes into these bowl games most of the time more prepared as an offense than anybody does. He puts up points.
Jim Knowles comes into bowl games more prepared. Missouri last year basically shut him out for 3 quarters.
And outside of last year against Missouri, which again most people give a mulligan because of you had third strings and backups and stuff like that playing. You give Ryan Day and Chip Kelly 3 weeks to prepare for any
Tennessee,
defense.
Anybody.
I don't care what defense it is. They're more than likely going to put up 30 points. And it's not. And you know how it usually goes when an offense has a terrible week like that. They usually bounce back. And you can't tell me that a team that has the offensive firepower that the Ohio State Buckeyes have is not.
It's just a matter of if he uses it.
It is a matter.
The same way he went into Woody Hayes' facility after the Oregon game, and he looked at Jim Knowles and Larry Johnson and said, "Hey, y'all do that shit again,
it's over.
You're going to leave."
Yeah.
He needs to. Hey, Chip, come to the house.
And
we need to have a sit down. We need to be.
And you're the guy that I look up to, but I'm gonna keep it real with you. I'm gonna keep it.
If you have a game, that second half that play sheet is mine. Yeah. Because, like I said, Chip, they're not coming for you. They want me gone.
Exactly.
These Reddit boards, they want me gone, if not worse. But back to kind of like the question that this all stemmed from, the realistic coaching possibilities. There's there's rumblings. There's always rumblings that Urban can come back. That Urban wants to be back. I personally don't think he will do it because, like we just said, unless you have a for sure coach lined up, I don't think Dave's will be fired. And I don't. And Urban,
it shouldn't be.
And Urban and Ryan, they're still best of friends, even to this day. Urban talks to Ryan.
They're definitely cool.
2 to 3 times a week. I don't think he wants to be
the guy that's playing. Yeah,
I'm the reason why you're gone.
Right, and Urban, because I personally have talked to Urban a couple of times, and he's a very, very relaxed guy. When he's a media guy. Urban legitimately is the type of guy to where it's like, I don't know if he wants this part back into his. I think he's
a year-round job.
I think that he still loves to coach. Like if this was,
he loves being on the team.
I think he's in the Chip Kelly part to where if it's all about football, he's good. But I think that
it's a new era, bro. It is a way different era.
If he sat there and almost had those health problems
because of the stress
before, I can only imagine what the hell is going to do now because it's not.
And I talk to your agent for you to come to Ohio State.
I'm not even thinking that it's like. I think that he could be good for Ohio State, but only as far as like the motivational part of what he is. Like if he was like a how they do their little strategy coaches type thing. But him as the actual coach, I don't know if that would be good for Ohio State only because of his last stint with Jacksonville. I don't know if the game has quote unquote passed him by. I doubt it, but it's a simple fact of what are you coming in trying to do?
I mean, I kind of do think it passed him by. If it drove like this new era of college football, the NIL era, the transfer portal era, if it drove Nick Saban out of the sport, what the fuck do you think is going to happen with Urban fucking Meyer?
Yeah.
Because as any high school coach across America, you cannot coach the exact same way you did. Fuck, let alone 8 years ago, 6 years ago.
He's one of those crazy ones. He's definitely one of those crazy ones.
This is the standard. Yeah. You're going to meet this motherfucking standard, or you're going to get gone.
He's definitely one of those guys. I mean, like I said,
I think he's very comfortable when his position.
I think he's comfortable with it. I don't know. I don't know if they could push him out of there. The only way I feel like they could really basically yank him out of there is if they did fire Ryan Day and they had nobody.
I think they will have to have a buffer period regardless.
I don't think they will, only because I don't think Urban would sit there and let Ohio State fall like that. I think that he will probably be like, I'll give you all 1 year, but like 1 or 2. But after this, it's like, okay, y'all need to find that guy because I'm not doing this forever.
I feel like that's part of the reason why I'm so pro Marcus Freeman. He's a younger guy. He's from the rivalry. He's from the state. He knows. He comes from the Jim Tressel preparation of this game. He does. So it's like, hey man. I feel like he's the perfect guy, but
I think that this playoff run for Notre Dame would show a lot. If Ryan Day
they make it to the Final Four.
I wouldn't even say it's Final Four because of what we're going to get into later with the playoffs and stuff like that. I would have to see them make a serious jump from what they are because I don't believe in Notre Dame. So
sorry, Dylan.
If he sat there and made a jump to where he's in the Final Four and in that and making an actual run at the championship, then I'll be like, okay, you know what, you're going above and beyond for what you're supposed to be doing. But if it's like you're over here struggling, like if they lose to Bama first round, from what it looks like from the, I'm really not. I'm not. fixated on that because it's like, again, we get so mad about Ryan Day losing these quote-unquote big games, but he's so good against these terrible teams or whatever it is.
These non-Michigan teams.
Right. And it's like, do we really want to go back? I understand, and I truly understand it. I truly get it. Nobody likes to lose to Michigan. That's an Ohio State fan. Nope. It is the most dreadful 365 days a year.
People bringing belts,
exactly.
The podcast,
but I'm saying,
chairs.
Does it hurt that bad to lose to them that much than to sit there and miss out on situations because you're losing to teams like Purdue, teams like Illinois, teams like Iowa? Legitimately, we just seen that with Urban, and we lost out so many chances. And this is the question that I always ask the Ohio State fans that have called for his job. Which one is more important to you? If we would have won that championship when we lost to Georgia on that field goal, would y'all have liked that more than losing to Michigan at that same point? And it's insane because you would think
people would say,
I want that natty.
No.
I have gotten mixed reactions from asking actual OSU fans that have sat there and said, I would rather us lose and get blown out in the national championship than to lose to Michigan.
And it's lost 31-0 in 2017.
It's insane to me. I would sit there and think that you beat basically the best of the best in the national championship. Mm-hmm. You were ranked number 1.
Yeah, unless you were playing Michigan in the 90, they didn't win it.
At the end of the season, you were ranked number 1 of all college football. But you don't want that because you'd rather beat Michigan. And again, like I said, this rivalry is completely different. And this is, again, why Ohio State fans are toxic.
I've said this for many years.
It's sick.
They are the most toxic fan base.
I don't know if Marcus Freeman is the guy. I would, if they brought him in, I'm not saying that I wouldn't give him a chance. But the simple fact of
how long of a leash does your fans give him? I feel like that's part of it too.
And I feel like that leash is the first one. Because you can't, again, you cannot sit there and tell me that if Ryan Day gets fired and Marcus Freeman comes in and loses that first Michigan game, that people are not going to sit there and be like, what the fuck? Like and I will be one of those people that will be like, this is what y'all asked for. Y'all thought that he was the issue when the issue was not that.
So with that being said, going forward in this rivalry, we both have very talented freshman class coming.
Yes.
Art Mission's best class recruiting
probably in a while.
Since what, 2017?
16 or 17.
16 or 17 when we have Rashawn Gary and Peoples-Jones.
Or probably 15. Yeah, 15.
So the question has to be asked. Where do you see this rivalry going these next 2-3 years?
My thing is,
like, where is your light at the end of the tunnel, Ohio State wise?
I would say that it has to get done next year.
But how does that happen?
The way it happens is
because you're losing 15 guys.
You're losing probably around 10 to 13 guys, more than likely.
And trust me, me and John were talking about this on Monday.
You're more than likely.
It's hard replacing 13 guys.
You're more than likely. You're more likely. But then again, with the transfer portal, I think regardless of the fact, Ohio State is going to have to sit there. Offensive line is automatically going to be their number 1 option. If it's not, then you're not competent. You're not understanding what y'all need. Left tackle and right tackle are the only two things that needs to be addressed offensively.
Center too.
I wouldn't say that only because Carson Hinsman will be back, and you're not. Now it's going to be basically 2 seasons of him playing center. Third season, I'm assuming that you're going to be fine. And, I mean, he didn't play bad on Saturday, but I would say the guards were the issue.
Mason Graham, legacy.
Legacy. Taylor Shabola, now that is the issue. The right guard and right tackle duo is not.
Josiah Stewart, welcome to the first round, buddy.
I would say those two spots and kicker. Those are the only three things that need to be addressed. I would say
so you believe in the young guys driving the D-line and DBs?
I would say that they need more depth more than anything. I wouldn't say that they need to go out and get stars outside of those three spots, only because and everybody's saying that they want to get this Liberty quarterback, and I'm hit or miss on this. Like, it's you're trying to get a guy from Liberty. I get it, he looks talented, but you're also playing against guys that are
Sunbelt. No offense to my guy.
Right, and I'm saying, like, you're not. I didn't see enough special to sit there and be like,
yeah, he's the one.
He's
like Cam Ward.
But I mean, but again, he's still playing in the Pac-12, so it's like he's not really playing against that much weaker. You're Sunbelt to Oregon and Michigan is two completely different things. I would say left tackle, right tackle, kicker, and then depth as far as defense-wise.
So what do you want y'all to do quarterback-wise?
There's no right answer. There's literally no right answer. You're either going in there with a guy that you think that has taken the playbook.
The higher ceiling, but higher up, but like lower upside.
Yeah,
and Julian Sands.
Is that the ceiling is definitely lower. The floor is probably higher, but the upside on St. Clair is probably a lot. Is probably
but
through
we
the
talked
roof.
about it.
Yeah, and
the growing pains.
The growing pains, and then again, and more than likely, it will be sitting there looking like, okay, if you're not beating them next year, we can't keep giving you this leash.
Yeah.
And we thought it was this year that was going to be that, but depending on what happens, we're talking as if that he's going to keep his job.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't keep getting the same opportunities. He doesn't. So I would say that it has to be done next year, and it's not close. Because if you're sitting there telling me that Bryce Underwood gets the first win, and if he's starting, he gets his first win, and
in our class, and it keeps rolling like that,
it keeps improving. You're not telling me that you think that this roster. Granted, don't get me wrong. Ohio State's roster, from what it looks like projectedly, from what this recruiting class is going to be, this is going to be one of your best rosters, talent-wise, that you probably had since probably 2019, and maybe can probably consider.
But the problem is, will you be able to see it come to fruition?
And I doubt that, because again, you're going to be replacing probably more likely two DBs and a safety. You're going to be replacing one linebacker minimum, and then you're going to be replacing
3D lineman at the minimum.
3D lineman, and that's about it. I think that me personally, the D-line will be fine, only because I think that from what I see production-wise, outside of what they can do physically in the run game,
you're not missing much with JT Lee.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't think that they're missing that much. Linebacker-wise, Cody Simon was a beast, and I think that he's going to be missed the most.
Snub for first team all.
But I think Reeves will be fine there, and especially with another year being in that system. My deepest concern is going to be at safety. Everybody's talking about
Caleb. What do you have?
Everybody's concerned about corner. I'm more concerned about later. People were
on Ransom, but
Ransom played his ass off
this whole season,
legitimately. And I don't understand. Like, people have been, and I've been the same guy that's been arguing with people that have said him and Shiloh Sanders are the same person. I'm like, y'all are legitimately insane.
Ransom's way better in coverage.
Ransom will be missed the most, and I think that people do not understand.
He's going to have the Tommy Eckleberg type of.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we'll replace him. And then season cup, these four short tackles, they not there no more.
We saw it on Saturday. He was one of three players on that defense who showed it.
Yeah.
So,
but you said natty or bust. Rankings came out yesterday.
Yes.
And I said every week. The Lisa Ann, Rochelle Ryan, Tina Trump, Ash Cash treatment that they give to the SEC is insane. Alabama moved up 2 spots.
Yes.
How the fuck did you move up 2 spots?
Good dub against Auburn. Good dub.
Because Auburn's just this massive,
Greatness.
great team. And we've been talking all year. That 5th spot is very beautiful.
Yes.
And as of right now, Penn State versus Arizona State, the 5th seed versus 12th seed. And then that team will go on to play Boise State at a neutral site.
Rough.
Keivon? But they're being projected right now. I personally think it's going to change a little bit before the final bells was rung. I'll say 8-9 versus Tennessee. At home, thankfully. What are your thoughts on these rankings? It looked like they've been saved. The committee has been saved from utter bullshit.
I think that they did the most to not put them in the most complicated situation.
Yes.
I was sort of surprised that Ohio State dropped below Georgia. I don't think that Georgia should have been ranked above the Buckeyes with both of them having 2 L's and Georgia winning by 2 points against Georgia Tech. I just was not impressed enough for you to sit there and move up like that. Regardless of the fact, Miami, they did. It is what it is. I mean, you lose to these teams like this that you're losing to, you can't do it.
I mean, but the thing about that is, yes, Miami lost to Georgia Tech and Syracuse. Georgia Tech just took Georgia to the last play of the game, literally, at Georgia.
That's valid. That's very valid.
And guess what they're probably doing? They're like, hey, Georgia Tech team is really good. They beat Miami.
It's valid.
So it's like, Miami,
they're going towards the path of least resistance so that everybody can try to be happy. I'm more worried about what's going to happen on Sunday. Obviously everybody is, but somebody's lying. And War Manual was on TV yesterday, contradicting himself every chance he got. Reese Davis, who, again, a friend. I appreciate you, Reese. I've talked to you multiple times. I appreciate you, guy. Try to give him as many lifelines as he could. Multiple times.
He said,
wait, hold on. Are you sure?
Are you telling me?
Are you telling me that this is, yes. And then War Manual would switch up his answer potential. No. Give me the right, give me the wrong.
Set the bar now.
Can people get knocked out with the 13th data point? Yes or no? That's all we wanted to know. And he sat there and said, before this week,
no,
there was not a possibility. The 13th data point, we will not hold against you. And then sat up there and said yesterday to start the show.
But maybe.
No, the start of the show, he said, no, listen, the 13th data point, listen, that's not everybody. Not everybody can sit there and have that 13th point. We're not going to sit there and touch them other teams that aren't playing because you know what, they didn't have that opportunity. So us personally, we're like, oh, so again, you 13th data point doesn't
it's hurt. It's a freebie. It's a mulligan.
And then he said, and then Reese, being a great reporter,
great journalist.
So if somebody loses like a SMU, can they fall below Bama? Well, maybe. So what the gang?
And then wait. And then recess.
Wait.
So wait. Hold on.
Wait.
You.
Like the little Boondocks little video. You know you done fucked up, right? You know you done fucked up. So now people are wondering if SMU loses in this conference championship game, or Boise State loses, are they dropping below Bama?
Because Boise State is, by technicality, they're number 10.
This will cause some very
Interesting conversation.
People are going to be unhappy because if Clemson wins and SMU drops out the playoff,
shit is going to hit the fan.
Listen to me when I tell you this.
Shit is hitting the fan.
People, coaches, will sit there and debate if they're going to want to play in the conference championship. And it's going to turn into a situation to where unless you're in the top 4, unless you're solidified probably in the top
6, 7.
6, I can't even say 7. Because listen, if SMU, I think, was where Ohio State was at, they still probably will have a chance of dropping out.
I mean,
and if we're being honest, and I feel like it's all off of brand bias.
Oh, it's definitely brand bias.
But it's the simple fact of
these kids are fucked.
SMU is what, ranked 8th or
number 8? You're telling me? Because Keivon, wait, let's go. Let's rewind it back. You know, like in Click, the movie Click. Rewind. Ohio State only dropped 4 spots from losing to an unranked team, right?
Yes.
Alabama, when they got embarrassed, shut out at Oklahoma, they dropped 6 spots. So you're telling me if SMU loses to a team in Clemson who's number 17, that, hey, bud,
and a neutral site.
Hey, bud, 5 spots, you're out of here. Because I know it looks like right now. No, we always put the bracket right here. You know, I got y'all. Because right now, Arizona State's sliding at number 12 because they're outside the top 12. If Boise State loses, so let's explain this hypothetical. Boise State and SMU both lose. Boise State and SMU are both in the top 10. 13 data points, that's what's a count. SMU loses on a field goal. No, they lose like 17-10. Who cares? Boise State loses on the last play of the game. That would mean that Clemson takes a spot.
Yes.
They are outside of the top 12. Arizona State is outside of the top 12. They need a spot because that's 4. So now we're at 4 conference champions: Big 10, SEC, ACC, and Big 12. Boise State is not a conference champ. So, hey, UNLV, you got to make it because you're number 5. I don't know if people have been really paying attention. Boise State's going to get fucked too. Because number 12, sorry, that's UNLV's spot now. Number 11, Bama, I'm sorry. It has to be Arizona State's, it has to be Clemson's spot because they're outside the top 12. Boise, sorry.
If they were right, if they were being real, Bama would not make it.
Boise State losing because they lost the conference championship game is going to be insane. That's the path we're going towards. Because number 10 will also miss because Arizona State needs a spot.
Listen.
And if I'm fucking anybody, and because you don't think people are going to be like, hey, Indiana, I love the story. Guys did great. But in the words of CM Punk, here's a bigger star who, by the name of Alabama, I don't know if you heard of him. And Indiana, you'll have fun in the Holiday Bowl, the Jimmy Fallon Bowl, Rob Gronkowski Bowl. Go have fun. You know, you had a great season. You don't think those conversations are going to pop up? Because the Alabama-Indiana conversation was already had a little bit.
We're going to find out. We got, 4 days?
We might have a mercy pot on Sunday.
Yeah.
Because
we're going to find out. We're going to find out.
Biggest winner.
Somebody lied.
Biggest winner is Notre Dame by far.
Oh, without a doubt.
You're telling me I don't have to play a top 50 schedule? Wait, hold on. You're telling me I just have to be 1?
And they mess around and they get that 5 seed. They'll mess around and get that 5 seed. Listen, because at some point, like I said, somebody is lying. Somebody is lying. They're not going to sit there and tell me that loss can potentially knock SMU out, but then sit there and tell if Penn State gets blasted by Oregon, they deserve a 5 seed.
And then shit. Even if let's say for instance they don't get blown out, they still lose. Penn State has 2 losses.
Yeah, Ohio State has 2 losses, and Ohio State has the head-to-head.
Hey, we beat y'all.
And then but they already just said
it can't go against you.
And not even that. They said that we're not going to look at the teams that aren't playing, and we're not going to move them up based off of what the other stuff is. So then what is it? Because if I sit there and I see that Penn State gets mangled on Saturday,
and they're number 5,
and they are at number 5,
the best seed in the playoff.
If they get higher than Ohio State, I will sit there and question everything. Because I get it, the 13 data points should not count against you. But at some point, it's going to be like, okay, we saw them play the same team.
One got blown out.
One got smacked, and one
lost by
damn
1
near
point
should have won.
At their stadium.
And then we saw them play head-to-head,
and the lower seed beat them.
At their place. But you're going to sit there and tell me that the 13th point does not count. So then at that point, it's going to be like, okay, so Ohio State, you have to, regardless, Ohio State should be at the A spot. So at this point, Ohio State cannot move up. Neither can Notre Dame. Nobody.
Let's say, for instance, Carson Beck plays Carson Beck football. Those 3 picks, and Georgia loses by 2 touchdowns.
They can't move.
And Alabama's hey, committee, hello. We beat them.
Can't move.
Hey, son, I'm sorry to break it to you, but
can't move. Not allowed to move.
The game you just saw, placebo.
Can't move. Oh, I'll be damned. Oh, listen, hold on, wait. Because listen, if hypothetically,
I love these.
If Georgia gets mangled, and Carson Beck has that game, but Clemson wins, and Bama gets out, because they keep they're going to crash out. And they sit there and see, hold on, wait. Georgia has the same amount of losses as we do, and we beat them, and they got mangled like that?
You know, it's sitting pretty right now.
Listen.
Tennessee's is like, wow, it's very nice to be in this 90. I mean, hopefully we don't have to play Ohio State. Hopefully, the committee's not people of their word, and Penn State drops to 8, and we don't have to play Ohio State. But, fuck it, we're just happy to be here.
Somebody's lying.
And
that's all I care about. Somebody's lying.
Someone's telling a lie.
I'm not about to keep doing it.
What Pink Panther's saying?
We're going to find out.
That boy's a liar.
We're going to find out.
Because I'm not going to lie. This initial one's going to... We said it, what, 6 weeks ago?
Somebody's going to set the table.
You're walking down a very fine line.
They definitely are.
Because this all could have been avoided if you have Miami just there at number 11. You keep Miami there, 2 losses. Hey, here's this buffer window. You are number 11. If shit hits the fan, fuck it. We are safe. We have a 2-loss team right here.
Listen, I feel like they would have been more safe if they put Miami right there.
That's what I'm saying. You put Miami there. Hey, throw 2 losses.
Or not, especially since the fact that their last game, y'all just saw them lose like that.
Yeah, so
it's like, it's granted. It's granted. These
2 conference champion winners, it happens, upsets happen, so it's okay. We can keep SMU win. All right, we can live with that. But guess what? You done fucked up.
Big time.
Big time.
Big time.
Big time, buddy. Usually, as it last, we don't really get the NFL on Wednesday, so who gives a fuck? We will see y'all. Maybe Sunday.
Maybe. It's possible.
Very possible.
Depending on what these...
What time does it start? What, 12?
It starts at 12. Selection Sundays at 12. So we will...
You know what? Y'all drop a comment in the comment section. If y'all will actually watch this motherfucker
maybe we'll do it live.
Sunday.
Maybe we'll do it live.
Oh, we do that?
I know how to do that.
Yeah?
Yes.
Automatically, you're so fucking smart. But we go live on Sunday.
Maybe.
We watch this bitch together. Y'all drop a comment and say, hey, We will watch on today's episode. I need y'all to drop a comment and say, "Hey, we will be there watching. We will be on YouTube watching before the NFL games start." And you know what?
It's a lot. It's a lot to ask for.
Because you guys don't like the comment, you guys don't like the like, you guys don't like the subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
Please, get us out the hood. I need another belt.
I'm already sick. Make me feel better.
Please, he deserves it.
God damn it.
I got maced. I got assaulted.
Damn. All right, gotta take this L.
We're going through it. Keivon has to hear my mouth 365 days because we're at 1,831 days since Ohio State has beat Michigan. Shout out to us. So you guys leave a like, share, subscribe, comment if you will watch it on Sunday with us. Because we can make this happen.
We can't.
We can't. Imagine.
We might.
Imagine the bafflement. As number 9 pops up, it says, Alabama.
I might walk off the pod. I'm not gonna lie.
So you know what? We'll make a deal. If Clemson wins and
we get to at least 75.
75 likes?
75.
75 likes. We'll do a live show.
Get it done.
But caveat, Clemson has to win. Clemson or UNLV. We need some type
We
of
need an
chaos.
upset.
We need some chaos.
Some upset.
We'll dedicate this show that next show specifically to Monty. Because you will be a very sad man when those Alabama Roll Top does not make it. Alabama Crimson Tide. So, me and my winning belt, I keep for another 365. Rubbing it up, man. Shout out to
Pause.
have immunity. We beat y'all.
Valid.
Hey, do the whistle. Episode 25 in the books.